So I'm hoping that you've glued those down and you're ready to start to work into them. So this is where you're going to need to use pencil. And the other thing I've got over here is, and I won't flash it at you, but it's a mirror. And I'm going to want to use this to look at my own face. And I'm taking inspiration from my own face, really. And what I think is quite nice about this artist is the naivety to which she sketches. There's a real childlike quality. So I don't want you to be overly critical of your own abilities, but you're really looking at facial features. So here's a quick one that I did a minute ago. And I want you to start in pencil first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jewellery off. And I'm going to go onto the map, I think. And what I'm going to do is I want you to look into the mirror and I want you to pull a bit of a weird face. So just sort of maybe think, what looks a bit... And you can try and even do like a side profile. So, I mean, if I move this down a little bit further, this one here, where it's a little bit skinnier than the others, this lends itself quite nicely to a side profile where I've got my head and I've got my ear and I can see more of the ear. And you can draw coming off of your mixed media piece of paper. And I've got my nose, which it's quite hard to draw and talk at the same time. And then I've got the edge of my face into the neck. And draw myself with quite a big neck there. I'm going to put a little bit of shoulder in. Now, you tend to find that wherever you put your ear, your eye runs. And actually, a really good trick is to hold your pencil. If you hold your pencil, so I'm touching the corner of my eye to the centre of my ear. So I'm using it like a little ruler. There's a little bit of a line between the two of those. Now, these are quick sketches. And what I'm doing is I'm creasing. I'm like frowning and I can see all the wrinkles from my eyes. So I'm going to draw that in and put an eye in there. Just going to sharpen the eye slightly. And that's coming to the edge of my nose like that. And so I'm just hinting it wants to come in slightly there. And then I'm going to put my hair. And so hair's quite a good one to hide a lot of stuff. Now, you don't want to draw individual strands. What I'd recommend is you kind of like clump the hair together. And even though obviously I'm female, but it doesn't mean that I have to draw a woman's head or a woman's face. And same with you guys. You don't have to draw a particular gender. So really play around with this. Think about what sort of different hair you might have. Maybe... because you're only really using your face as a source of inspiration, kind of working into that ear a little bit more, elongating it slightly. Now, let's put a mouth on here. So the mouth, if I've got my nose coming out here, I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. And it doesn't have to look like you, is what I'm trying to say, really. This is more about you thinking, okay, how can I show I'm grumpy, or I'm going to put some furrowed brow. So I'm going to put my eyebrow sort of pointing very much down towards my nose. And that often signals that somebody's not very happy. Also think about like where the eyes are looking. In fact, I might actually make these just a little bit. That's why we're doing it in pencil to start with, making these... lids just a little bit heavier, and bring that nose in, just kind of flesh that out a little bit more, kind of looks a bit like it's looking in contempt, and then the chin, up to you where you want to put a bit of line in there. Okay, so that's okay. I quite like that. And it's not totally perfect. And I don't have to be really perfect at this stage, because what I'm going to do is, at the side of me, I've got the watercolour palette that I asked you guys to get. And I'm going to be using warm and cool colours. So really think, okay, so I'm going to put warm colours So I'm just going to get a little bit of orange, and I'm going to look at my own face, and I'm going to put my warm colours where you've got some natural light. Now that's way too strong. So I'm just going to pull that down. I should probably put it in the palette really first. But what's quite nice about this artist is that she kind of colour dumps. So I'm going to grab a bit of red to go into his ear. There we go. Just be really careful that you let your colours dry in between so that you don't end up just with a great big mass of random colour. I'm just going to kind of highlight my nose a bit there, and start to put some of the cool colours in. Just going to pull that blue out. I probably didn't think that bit. There we go, grab a bit of water, pulls that out. And I'm going to get some green to go in the hair. I'm going to get a stronger green just to mix in, and I'm working wet on wet, so that means that I'm sort of blending, and that's merging those two colours together, so I'm working quite well with them. It doesn't matter that I've lost some of the definition from the hair, because I'm going to be using fine liner in a second to re-put that back in. So I'm just going to play around with adding these colours, just looking at so a little bit of orange into the mouth. Can I brush a bit better? Let's try again, a bit of orange into there. And I'm also going to put a little bit of yellow into here, into the nose, and soften that round. So I'm starting to blend that together. And then, okay. So I really am just kind of putting it quite randomly. I mean, I am paying attention to where there is some shadow. So I want to pull that down slightly. And there's definitely a little bit more shadow under here. Got the eye. Okay. Now I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to go back into it with my fine liner.